When you're leading an established company for business innovation and transformational growth, clashes about priorities and decisions are common.
These issues are often fueled by a lack of trust between individuals and groups.
Right.
So, how can you bridge a trust gap in your company? Join us for our quick take on this question. Episode 422 of Growth Igniters Radio with Pam Harper and Scott Harper.
This episode is brought to you by Business Advancement Incorporated, enabling successful leaders and companies to accelerate to their next level of success. On the web at businessadvance.com. And now, here's Pam and Scott.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Pam Harper, founding partner and CEO of Business Advancement Incorporated. And right along with me, as always, is my business partner and husband, Scott Harper.
Hi, everybody. It's great to be with you again. And as always, our purpose is to spark new insights, inspiration, and immediately useful ideas for visionary top leadership teams to ignite game-changing business innovation and transformational growth.
And remember, Growth Igniters Radio is only one of the ways we partner with top leadership teams to ignite game-changing business innovation and transformational growth. Find out more. Go to businessadvance.com today and schedule a call.
Now, like us, maybe you've seen that there seems to be an increase in distrust in companies across industries. Maybe you've even experienced it as a leader or a customer or even a partner. It's not an illusion. There's data out there that backs this up.
If you're a regular listener, you know that we follow the yearly Edelman Trust Barometer. The January 2026 report had a top line that read, and I quote on this, 70% of people are either unwilling or hesitant to trust someone whose values, facts, problem-solving approaches, or cultural background differ from theirs.
70%. That's a big number.
It's huge.
Oh, yeah.
What are the implications? Well, it may be that a trust gap could be present in your company if you know where to look.
Where can you look? Well, one common symptom that shows up frequently is clashes about different priorities.
For example, if you're focused on M&A, you may notice that the integration's lagging. Sometimes it looks like turf battles, obvious, but other times the reasons can seem mystifying. After all, everyone says they agree with the new direction, right?
Yeah. And here's another one. If you're bringing new products or services to life, different functional areas may clash, even when there are clear goals. Everyone agrees that it has to come out. We've seen that issues like this happen all the time. And often, when we dig deep enough, we see that there's a lack of trust between individuals and functions who don't see eye to eye, but aren't talking about it.
And this is often reflected in the complaints about those people.
Oh, yeah.
Those people don't care about standards. Well, those people don't care about business.
Those people don't understand innovation, and they don't understand highly regulated industries.
And those people certainly don't understand shareholders.
Those people, they just don't understand. They don't understand anything. Okay.
Well, beyond complaints, this can have a real impact on igniting and sustaining collaboration, innovation, transformation, and ultimately boosting the top and bottom lines.
All too true. The tendency to distrust, especially when you're faced with complexity and uncertainty like we all are, can naturally emerge because humans are wired like that from a neuroscience standpoint. The question is, we may be wired about it, but what can we do about it?
Well, the survey also says that CEOs must model trust brokering behavior. That's their statement.
Right.
And we agree with Edelman on this. Going one step further, we believe this starts with the entire top leadership team being in sync. And this includes the board, because bridging divides has a ripple effect that travels throughout the organization.
It does.
And by the way, it also ripples across the partners, customers, shareholders, and other critical stakeholders.
So, with that in mind, let's talk about 3 immediately useful ways to begin bridging the divides of trust and bring people together for greater benefit.
First, consider that it's likely that those people,
Hmm,
also known as difficult people, may think that you're the difficult person.
wait a minute. I'm delightful.
Well, sometimes.
Oh,
We all are like that.
yeah, sometimes not.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen this multiple times with multiple people. And they're always surprised that it could look like that.
What do you mean?
Well, it's easier to see things from your own perspective. It really takes an open mind to look at something through someone else's perspective. And here's why it's important because it reinforces mutual accountability for building the bridge.
No, that's a good metaphor. Because just as with suspension bridges, the bigger the gap, the longer the bridge, the more efficient and effective it is to build from both sides and meet in the middle.
Exactly. For instance, one CEO shared with us that it was essential to reimagine some of their product lines in order to stay competitive. Remember
I
this?
do.
Yeah.
On the other hand, the board was much more concerned about profitability and stock price. Was it challenging?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Well, ultimately, they worked together and they found common ground that closed the trust gap between them. And this rippled through the company in terms of the priorities they enforced.
So for them, taking mutual accountability for building the bridge was foundational for closing the trust gap and eventually getting to a much better financial position.
It was a starting point.
Right. So let's talk about the second immediately useful idea.
The second one is to listen to understand.
Listen to understand.
Yes, what we've learned is there's always more to the story. The bigger the gap, the more different the story can look. Not everyone has a bigger picture, and not everyone necessarily understands the constraints. And beliefs that people have about others' intentions, well, say around AI or other new technologies, just for example, can also distort what people perceive.
And if people don't have a full story, they start making up their own stories about what's happening
And why?
and why.
And that's why the same opportunity that can excite some people can also be seen as a threat by others.
So when you start creating conversations with all kinds of people and listen to understand, can bring all these perspectives together. And when you connect them through a consistent narrative, you can begin building the mutual understanding that trust requires.
Okay, well, here's the third idea. Starting at the top, we're talking about CEOs, C suites, the whole top leadership needs to have ongoing conversations that foster and reinforce an environment of collaboration and trust. The benefit is that this models bridge building behavior for everyone else.
For instance, you could acknowledge people who do more than raise difficult issues. In group meetings, you could acknowledge and praise people who collaborate with others to resolve differences and achieve win win outcomes. You can even use performance reviews to make this even more impactful.
Yes, that's right. The more positive and concrete you can make these reinforcements on an ongoing basis, the more likely it is that over time you can begin to close the trust gaps and achieve more positive outcomes.
Right. Well, Pam, we're at the end of the episode. How about a final thought?
In the uncertain and complex environment, trust gaps may be inevitable, but they can be minimized so that those people become us.
Ah, good point. And that's our quick take for today. Thanks to all of you out there for listening to Growth Igniters Radio. And if you're enjoying us, spread the good word and become a recommender. Just open the podcast on whatever app you use and write a review. Please share episodes that you like on your social media.
Until next time, this is Pam Harper.
And Scott Harper.
Wishing you continued success and leaving you with this question to discuss as a team. How can we detect trust gaps and build bridges instead?
Growth Igniters and Growth Igniters Radio with Pam Harper and Scott Harper are registered service marks of Business Advancement Incorporated. All Growth Igniters Radio episodes are copyrighted productions of Business Advancement Incorporated, intended for the private use of our audience. Except as otherwise provided by copyright law, all other uses including copying, editing, redistribution, and publication without prior written consent of Business Advancement Incorporated are prohibited. All rights reserved.